add more comprehensive checks.
Okay, great. Next, then on the list, oh, great place for you. You happen to click on the job history report to show where the DB assistant was here. This job history chart, that's our next new item.
So this is the new job history chart. We've overhauled the entire instance report. And so now you get to see a 24-hour view of the current jobs that are being ran on your SQL Server, as well as seeing yesterday. So here we can see we're broken up into the 24-hour segments, and each of these job markers are a time that the job started and stopped. We can see do work 2 is a job that was running from 12:39 to 3:39. And this is all segmented out in relevance to where it lands on the chart.
Okay, so the job history report, why exactly did we build it this way? I don't know. That's kind of a loaded question because I know the answer, but I think let me just go into it. The reason why we built it this way was because it's really difficult in the way you kind of visualize things in the job history in SQL Server Management Studio and stuff like that to kind of see it on a timeline and see how things are actually working. And one of the common things that we're trying to figure out when we're scheduling jobs is how do you schedule a job at a time that there's low CPU? And one of the cool things that was added into this report across the top is a color-coded heat map that shows the percentage of CPU being used. So you can look and see that, well, maybe you've got too many jobs running at one specific hour. Now, this is our test server, so it's kind of boring. It doesn't have those kind of spikes on it. But if you had an hour that we're like running at 90% CPU, well, maybe that would be a bad time to be running additional jobs, or maybe you could fix some of that by moving some of those jobs around. Anyway, we also have the filter jobs. Like, let's say you're looking at this and you've got like 1,000 jobs scheduled and you want to filter it down just to look at a couple of them. You can use this like deselect all and then go in and pick a couple of them and hit OK. And then the chart refreshes just to show you a few specific jobs there. Anyway, this is one that yeah, this is a big add on the Database Health 3.0 implementation, and nice job putting that one together, Mitchell. All right, next, shall we move on to the problem indexes? So there's a bunch of reports that we have around indexing, and most of them are kind of at the database level. But this was something that we added to go in and try and figure out, okay, at a instance level across all of our databases, what are some of the indexing stuff that we want to know about? So what's up with this one?
Right. So this report's going to show you things that maybe aren't obvious at first glance if you're looking at the other index reports. One of the things that we've encountered a few times now is disabled indexes. Management Studio does not have a good way of showing you that an index is currently disabled. And it just acts as if you're looking at it in the viewer, it's just acting like it's there and it's doing stuff. You may think that it's doing something for your system, but it's in all reality, it may be disabled and not helping your system out at all. So looking at this, you can see the status of disabled ones.
So for instance, disabled indexes are kind of a really great way for a developer to do a quick check to say what would happen if this index wasn't here. Instead of dropping the whole thing, you can just disable it. But as long as you put it back later. But what happens is a lot of people end up maybe disabling an index and then forgetting about it. And 2, 3 years later, you notice in here that you've got some disabled indexes. Well, they're just taking up space, but they're not giving you any value. And they're probably doing a disservice because they make you think you have an index in there because it's not clear that it's disabled, like Mitch said a few minutes ago.
The other thing that we've added is the fill factor information. So this will show you, again, Management Studio doesn't immediately show you if a fill factor is set low. And so this will show you if a fill factor 0 shouldn't be in there. If a fill factor is set below, we recommend 90 and above for our fill factors. But if it's set below that, meaning it's only going to half fill the index of information and data, then you can realize you can go back and fix these low fill factors.
Yep. So the fill factor is applied when an index is built or rebuilt. Doesn't apply when you're doing a reorg on it, only when it's being initially built or being rebuilt. And what that means is a fill factor of 50 means fill up every data page or 8K chunk, fill it half full or 50% full. And I don't know that 50% full was ever a good idea, but it used to be that filling at 80 or 90% was a good idea because then you left room for more rows to be added. But in today's world with not so many spinning disks anymore and more SSDs, yeah, having tighter packed indexes seems to be a better thing. It saves you space, you get things done faster, and the page splits that you're dealing with. I mean, you might end up with a table where you want to have 90%, but oftentimes we recommend setting it to 99. 50% is never good. 0% means 0% is the same as 100%, meaning fill it all the way up. So in this case, 50 is always a bad setting for fill factor. But if you're at 85 or 90 or 82%, yeah, it's not the end of the world, but you might save a few percentages and speed things up a little bit by increasing that fill factor.
And we also include the scripts to alter these to fill factor 99 and enable them or drop them if that's what you want to.
But just like we don't have a drop all tables button, we don't have a drop all indexes button because that's something you should take and analyze and figure out on your own before doing it.
Alrighty, let's go into these backup reports that have been reworked. So those familiar with Database Health Monitor may remember that backup size is kind of the database level backup report that we always go to. This one will show you over time what the backups have changed in size. We've changed this though, we've altered this a bit to have a bit more clarity with a bit more of explanation of what's truly going on in this.
So with that, we have the blue line and the green line showing there because we have differentials and we have fulls. We don't have any logs on this one apparently, so we're not seeing the little light blue line. That's really handy to see how that differential is growing on a day-to-day basis and maybe change how often your full backups are needed to be done.
And now in turn with this, we've also added the backup time frame report, which utilizes the same report that we showed on our job history, but this one's set for a 2-week period, and this will show when your backups are being done. So here we're looking at just differential backups. We haven't seen a full backup for this DB Health History database in the last 2 weeks.
Wow. So, well, it's our test server and everyone's always messing with the jobs and there's no reason to back that one up. But if you were seeing this on a production server, that would be a massive red flag. 2 weeks without a full backup, most environments, that's going to be an issue.
Thanks for watching. I'm Steve, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, please click the thumbs up icon. And if you want to subscribe, click subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notified when we have new videos. All right, have a great day.